Okay, shalom, shalom, kum yeshala, koholoyim la, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Hakodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. Just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and Aqua that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai to the best of their ability. Zachana Nawaf. Just coming at you with another quick lesson. Pray that it's edifying by the Spirit. And what I want to get into is Esau Edom. That's the biblical nationality of the so-called white man. The Bible. There's 18 nations in the scriptures. Esau, which his name was changed to Edom, which is another version of red because they're not white people. They're actually pinkish to reddish in color. Actually, you can see this guy's pinkish to reddish color through this black suit right here. They're not white. They're not like the letters that I'm reading right here. It says, inside Russia elite frogmen, they call them the frogmen, special forces armed with underwater guns and fleet of trained killer dolphins. This is Esau Edom. This is a gift or a blessing that was given to Esau Edom from Isaac, our forefather. You see? Now you go into the scriptures. Matter of fact, let's go into it real fast. Let me see here. This is Genesis 25. Let me start at verse 25 real quick. And the first came out red, all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And the only red people that's on the planet is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Now they'll try and trick you into thinking that, they'll call it so-called Native American Indians, or they'll be like, you got red skins. But the so-called Native American Indians are actually brown-skinned people. The people that's being talked about right here is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Okay, so now let's get verse the point that I really want to get is this point right here, verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter. A man of the field. Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. Now, let's go back into this. Let's get this title again. Inside Russia's elite frogmen, special forces armed with underwater guns and a fleet of trained killer dolphins. These are cunning hunters. So when you look at the Russians, so-called Ukrainians, Europeans in general, they're all Edomites. They're all Edomites. You're not going to get around it. They're all Edomites, Esau, Edom. That's their biblical nationality. That goes for all your Europeans. Amalek, the whole nine. The people that's over in the Holy Land calling themselves the people, the holy people, that's all Amalek. You can't tell me if you can train a dolphin, killer dolphins. It says inside Russia's elite frogmen. So they're experts on the water. So they've conquered land, air, sea when it comes to warfare or get down. You know what I'm saying? You can't get around it, man. Let's get that again. Genesis 25 and 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. And Jacob, that's our forefather, was a plain man. Because we just chilling. We're not going out. We don't want to go to space. We're not trying to really see. Our people been living amongst these Edomites for so long. They might go bungee jumping. They might go out camping or walking up cliffs and all this other shit. But that's not stuff that we're really into. As a people, as a whole, we're not doing that. We're not going surfing. We're not going just walking on a lake of ice and ice fishing and shit to possibly fall through. We're not going out and hunting buffalo, or elephants and fucking rhinoceros and zebra. We're not doing, we're not into stuff like that, man. We prefer to chill. If we're going hunting, it's going to be for some food for real. If we going fishing, we going to fish for the fish that we want to fry, you know, preferably for that season, you know. Jake go out and do a little bit of hunting. You know, if we killing an animal, it's gonna be for sure for food. It's not gonna be for sport. We're not gonna have the zebra skin on the floor. We're not gonna have a bear skin in front of our, you know, in our living room or some shit. You see what I'm saying? So now let's get into some of this. Russian special forces are one of the prime suspects in the attack on the Nord Stream pipelines, which has triggered a disaster in the Baltic Sea. Now we've been talking about this. So let me go back. Let me get another quick scripture real quick, and we'll move forward. 2 Corinthians 2:11. We already knew they was gonna blame it on Russia. It can be anybody. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of it. We're not ignorant of his devices. So we're not ignorant of the fact that this man, the Edomites here in America, they'll fuck something up and blame it on anybody. They've been doing it forever, and we it's a number of things we can go into. You know, I'm gonna keep it classy because you know they get it to channel these days, man. Vladimir Putin's regime are feared to have attacked the key gas link, and they got links in here. In an effort to continue stoking the brewing energy war with Europe amid tensions over Ukraine. Now, as you can see the pictures right here, they have an elite underwater army, man, with dolphins and many, they call them midget submarines, man, like little submarines that can just go forth and do things, right? It says behind the attack could have been the so-called Frogmen, Special Forces Commandos. Now you can look that up. Look up Russian Frogmen, and what you'll see is it's you know, hey, but that's Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Now they may be Russians or so-called Russians, but this is the so-called white man. They're Edomites. They're no different than your Edomite down in Kentucky, you know, making moonshine. They're the same people. Just a different region with a different type of attitude. That's all. It says behind the attack could have been the so-called Frogmen, Special Forces Commando, who worked for both the Russian Navy and Putin's spies. The group who were behind the Salisbury poisoning in 2018. It is feared Russia could have either used deep-sea divers or drone submarines to trigger massive explosions, which blew 2 holes in the Nord Stream 1 and 1 hole in the Nord Stream 2. Now, we already know the scripture says never trust thine enemy. Let me get that real quick. It's going to keep coming out. These scriptures going to keep coming out. Ecclesiasticus, also known as the Book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. So when it comes to this so-called white man, he's gonna do what he does best: deceive, man. And now you can believe Russia, or you can believe now these ones in America, these Chaldeans, the magicians, the astrologers, the scientists of America. These are your worst liars in the world, man. So if America is telling you something, you better for damn sure really, like, you know, just not take it for face value. I'll put it that way. Okay, it says Putin's equivalent of the SAS, Spetsnaz troopers have a reputation for being well armed, highly trained, and ruthless. And the so-called frogmen, hey, those boy, hey, they in that water, man, with their all black wetsuits and distinctive underwater guns are specialized to carry out operations in the deep. Commandos in the unit are trained for both stealth and sabotage, with a range of tools at their disposal to carry out operations. The forces have access to midget submarines, manned torpedoes, specialized weapons, speedboats, and even trained dolphins. Normally deployed from a warship, small boat, or submarine, they deal with the most clandestine undersea operations. Europe is sure the Nord Stream attack was an act of sabotage, and both Poland and Ukraine have pointed the finger at Russia. Okay, so there you have it. That's why we're saying, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. America will, throw the rock and put their hands behind their back in a minute. So, but you will see. We'll see what the reactions are going to be. Putin's frogmen are also understood to work for the specialist Guji naval unit, the main directorate Slovakia, of deep research. Despite its scientific name, it's understood to be a spy division which specializes in undersea operations. What do we say about Esau Edom being a cunning hunter? Jake not trying to be hundreds of meters under the ocean and swimming and with dolphins and shit and trying. No, we're not into that, man. Our people, we're not into that. We're just plain people. We like to just, go shop, get our food, get our drinks. Even Jake that smoke weed, all kinds of sick, whatever. Once Jake get their cigarettes, they smoke, they drink. Jake gonna chill. Really, in reality, now you got this younger generation that'll get out in these cars and they'll drive and, cause accidents and because they so goddamn high. But generally, Jake, what I'm saying is Jake is not out parasailing. Jake is not out skiing. Jake is not out, Jake not trying to build an aircraft to go to the moon or Mars and none of that shit. That's Esau, man. Okay, it says, and this would potentially include targeting a pipeline or deep sea internet cables. Russia's frogmen are armed with the APS underwater rifle, a gun specifically or specially designed to be able to fire beneath the waves. It shoots out of 4.75-inch long steel bolts. God damn. But this lets you know that Esau, let's get that gift of the sword. That's hey, they got that gift of the sword, man. Yeah, Esau got that sword down pat. Yep, Genesis 27:40. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And that's what's going on right now. But Esau Edom's his kingdom is being torn down right now. You got brethren against brethren. You got that Matthew 12:25 going on where the house divided. Because Russia and American so-called white people, they should actually be together, trying to reproduce and keep their bloodline going. But that's not the case, man. But this man, hey, he's gifted with that sword. So let's go back. That sword is that modern day gun. That sword is that modern day submarine, Navy ship, Black Hawk helicopter, F-35 fighter jets. You name it, man. That laser, whatever they, the gift of the media, that wordplay. Hey, that's all Esau, man. Let me get that back again. You got some shit. They got some shit that they can shoot underwater and tear your ass apart like you on land. It shoots out of 4.75-inch long steel bolts, which can burst through tough wetsuits and better cut through water than ordinary bullets. This man done figured this all out. The bolts could, in theory, also damage small underwater vehicles. And as their sidearm, the frogmen wear SSP-1 pistols, which shoot similar steel darts. God damn. Both these weapons are less useful on land, but could be devastating for any enemies that come up against them under the sea. See? And they got the, it's quite a bit more to it. But I didn't want to keep the lesson long. I just wanted to show the fact that this man has the gift of the sword, whether it's on land, sea, satellites in the skies, lasers. Hey, they got all kinds of shit. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, got a space force. That's how you know who they are. They're cunning hunters. They were blessed with that gift of the sword. And that sword, hey, from throwing a rock to stabbing your ass, Esau got that down to a pack. Hey, you can go to Walmart right now and get a slingshot with actual marbles, so to speak, the actual curved marbles, the actual roundness of a marble that's from David, basically, in a sense. Not to say it like David, but in Goliath. But you can go and get a slingshot right now from Walmart, and the so-called white man, he has mastered it. Something that simple. A crossbow, a 22 pistol, a 22 rifle, a 410 shotgun, a 12 gauge shotgun, a 2020. You name, just simple stuff. Really simple stuff. Pest control. You can go get a pellet gun. Esau got BB guns and pellet guns that are powerful enough to damn near kill a nigga. And this man is the cunning hunter, man. So I just wanted to touch on that. With that, I pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwam Yashala.